I'm here with Dalton Rushing. How are you doing, my good sir?
Good, doing well. How are you?
Good. So we're going to just walk down the first base line, and I'm going to ask you some questions.
Let's do it.
Just give me your honest answer on them.
Let's do it.
So the first question I want to ask you is about your mother.
Okay.
So your mom is credited to being the biggest influence in your life, at least your athletic career.
Yeah.
What exactly has she done that has influenced you so much? And most importantly, did you get to see her for Mother's Day?
I did not get to see her for Mother's Day. She had left actually the weekend, like right before. She was here at the home series before Mother's Day. FaceTimed her, of course, got to talk to her. It was a great day. Obviously, Mother's Day is always a great day. But yeah, I mean, my mother, it was like single mother household, little brother, older sister. We all obviously all went to school, went to college. My little brother played baseball in college. Sister was a nurse. So that's pretty tough. I give a lot of credit to her. It's really hard for what she did and what she continues to do day in, day out. And I'm thankful for every second of it.
So you attended Louisville University, or University of Louisville.
Yeah.
And you were teammates with guys like Reed Detmers, Bobby Miller, and Henry Davis. Do you still have a relationship with them?
Obviously more so Bobby than anything, being with the Dodgers. He was one of the first guys to congratulate me on draft day when everything went down. Reed, I've spoke to a handful of times since college. Obviously, if anyone knows Reed Detmers, he's very to himself, more than anyone you'll ever meet. But yeah, the Bobby connection is obviously as good as it gets, and hopefully obviously real soon I'll be able to see him each and every day up there.
And did you learn anything very useful from Bobby Miller?
Yeah, man. He similar situation. He started on a pretty quick path through the minors, was doing his thing, obviously what Bobby Miller does, and really the biggest thing he leaves me with, leaving spring training this year, was understand that you are who you are. You're gonna do the things that you want to do. Don't push it. The more you push it, the harder you make the game on yourself, and the more this game can tear you down at the end of the day. And so that's kind of something I've carried into this year, of just being able to say, hey, I'm gonna play and play and play until they tell me, hey, you're going here, you're going there, kind of thing. But that's one of the best pieces of advice I've really received from Bobby.
So going back to the University of Louisville, you went to Louisville over schools like LSU, Alabama, very respectable programs in their own right.
Yeah.
What made you decide to choose the University of Louisville?
Man, it was the desire to win. It's a school that, in all honesty, didn't lead college baseball and recruiting, didn't really get the best recruits in the country. Always had schools like LSU, Vanderbilt that stole a lot of the top 10 recruits coming into college, whatever. And I just went to Louisville, kind of fell in love with the desire to win with Coach McDonald. His ways in which he taught the game. He taught the guys to play the game the right way, understand that everything you do on a field is to win the baseball game. And I learned more in my 3 years there than I ever would have anywhere else in my life.
So a little birdie told me that your favorite player is Mike Trout.
It kind of bounces around. As far as the way that someone plays the game, Mike Trout probably has to be up there for me. The things that he did for his first 7-8 years in the big leagues before fighting some injuries was just unheard of, unseen. No one had seen it before from a guy his age, and that's kind of the things that I respect about him, and obviously just take the talent level out of it. I mean, he's as talented as any baseball player to ever live. So I just kind of respected the way that he played the game for his first half a decade in the big leagues.
And what do you think, in your personal opinion, has allowed Trout to be so successful?
In my personal opinion, I think it's really, really, really impressive the way that he's continued to put up these great seasons year in, year out, and not playing on one of the best teams in the big leagues. I think that's very respectable for a guy like him. It's easy to play well when the guys around you are all playing well, but it gets tougher when teams start to slump a little bit, teams start to face a little adversity. It's hard to kind of hold your edge and play your game, and that's something I really respect out of him.
So you're the number 2 prospect in the Dodger system. I don't know how much you keep up with that.
Not too much.
How does that make you feel to know that you're the number 2 prospect? What kind of work have you put into getting into that position that you're most proud of?
It's more of an accomplishment, just being able to understand that you're in the group with so many great minor leaguers. It's this is an organization that everyone in baseball knows. The kind of like prospects they breed out year in, year out, the guys that they send to the big leagues, whether it's with the Dodgers, elsewhere, Andy Pages, the things that he's doing in the big leagues right now, it's pretty impressive. So like understanding that you're like your long group of guys like that, it's a boost for sure, but it's something you can't really get too caught up in. It's still the same game, and the way I look at it is I come out here and there could be a guy that never got put on a list like that, and I may be more impressed with his gameplay than half the other guys on the field. So like that, I try and like take my own like eyesight, what I see on the field with like guys, and I don't really base them by a prospect list. I just kind of base them on what I see on a field and like how they perform, and that's really my way of looking at a player.
So I've heard that you play Fortnite and MLB The Show.
I do. I play a little bit of everything now. I play some Call of Duty now as well. Some of the guys on the team like love Call of Duty more than anything, so it's pretty easy. We can all get in the lobby and just have some fun.
So who do you play with?
Daily routine, I'd probably have to say it's probably Bubba Aline, my roommate, Taylor Young, another one of my best friends. I played with Diego, Juan Murillo. Like, it's a good group of guys that play Call of Duty on the team. So like we kind of mix it up here and there, but it's a good time for sure.
Who would you say out of that group is the best overall gamer?
I don't know. Diego's pretty good. Bubba takes some pride in his gameplay for sure on PlayStation. So he's pretty good at COD. Pretty good at a lot of things that he does on a PlayStation for sure. But I don't know if I'd even say there's a best. I would have to say it's probably between Diego or Bubba though. Mm-hmm. Really fun. Really fun.
And who would you say, hot take, is somebody that if you were getting in an argument with somebody online, who's going to be the one that's going to defend the group and have the best roasts and comebacks?
Taylor Young, 100%.
I got you, homie.
Things come to his brain quicker than almost anything, and he can just spit it off like that. So, and he's always for the boys. So he's always got the guys back around him, and great teammate, as everyone can see in the dugout, on the field. It's a guy I want by my side at all times.
So the other day, I think it was Tuesday the other day, when you guys were playing Wichita, I saw that you tried to blow on the ball.
And the 1-1. Swing and a ball chopped up the third baseline, and that is rolling up the line. And it's a fair ball. And rushing. Was that Lenny Randall years ago that did that for Seattle? Years and years ago. He got down on his knees and was trying to blow the ball foul. It was right along the foul line, and that's a infield single. You gotta love that. That's a great effort.
I would like to ask you about that because I've seen that happen in the past from some MLB players, but I want to know kind of what your thought process was thinking about it, because it did look like you had a smile on your face after.
Yeah. I mean, it's at the end of the day, you gotta take it, make as much fun as you can on the field. I mean, you're gonna have so many great things on a field. You're gonna have so many bad things through. In my head, I look at a 162 game season. It's like, look, that could have been a moment that turns around the next 110 for us. But in my head, in the moment, it's like I'm trying to get my pitcher through 5-6 innings, and one pitch like that to lead off an inning, a little single bloop knock down the line. It's like, what can I do to make this thing foul? Get to a 1-2 count. Boom, we get the strikeout. We get to move through a clean inning. He can throw another inning. That's kind of what was running through my head. And yeah, like the ball starts chopping down the line. I'm like, all right. Doesn't look like it wants to go foul. I'm going to see what I can do to try and make it foul. So yeah, I get down on all four and try and blow the ball foul. Doesn't work out. I hit it with my glove on the way. But yeah, I get back in the clubhouse after the game, and looks like half the internet's seen it already, and it kind of blew up out of nowhere.
And my last question that I have for you is catching.
Yeah.
What would you say is the most difficult part about catching? Because it just looks like those guys just get beat up day in and day out.
Yeah, that's the thing that everyone sees that, but they don't really see the joy of being on the same page with a pitcher. Honestly, it's learning who's 60 feet in front of you, understanding who they are, how they pitch, what motivates them, what doesn't motivate them, like understanding how I have to speak to them. There's so many components that go into catching, and there's so many things that you can grow at day in and day out. And that's something that I think I like a lot about catching is no matter how well I do behind the plate in a game, there's always something I could have done better. or learn from. And I guess that's just the competitive edge in me. And that's something I've tried to really take control of this year, is saying like, okay, if we struggled in this or this part of the game, like what could I have done to either slow the game down, help the situation for the guy 60 feet in front of me, or even the 7 guys behind him. And that's my job. I think that's why I take so much pride in it, play with so much fire and edge. And it's just because I want to take in every obstacle and every like challenge I could ever be granted.